Welcome, everybody. Really glad you could be here this morning, and curious how you're all doing, if you're hanging in there. We have this very new reality where we stay socially distanced, but thankfully we can come together and still do things like this. And admittedly, we're not in the same room together. We don't have that kind of togetherness, but we get to share this time together. And to me, it's a really humbling thought to think about that all around the world, literally around the world, we're coming together right now to share these embodied practices. We have people all over the US, from the West Coast to the East Coast. We have quite a number of countries scattered around the world. We've all converged right now to do these practices. So, what are these practices I'm referring to? What we're going to do is explore working with the body as a way to calm your mind. Because the stress, the anxiety is many people report as unprecedented. And to simply say, calm down, everything's going to be okay, generally doesn't work very well. Thankfully, though, we have bodies. And what we can do is use techniques in the bodies that send a signal to help calm and de stress the mind. And I like to call these neural hacks. We're hacking into the nervous system. And so, the particular way we're going to hack the nervous system this morning is to come into the cranial nerves. And we're going to do a number of different things that may at the outset look kind of strange, doing some eye movements, tipping your head this way, tipping your head that way, but they're very intentional to interact with the cranial nerves. And the cranial nerves end up synapsing in your brainstem. And according to the polyvagal theory, that activity in the brainstem, the medulla and the pons, can help calm your whole nervous system. And in calming your nervous system, calming your mind. Let's begin. So when I begin physical activity, whether it's a practice like this or riding my bike or going for a run, internally I like to reflect to myself, may the resilience that naturally arises through mindfully working with the body help me do what needs to be done. Taking a moment to feel your feet on the floor, the chair that supports you. With that sense of support, that sense of groundedness, if you've closed your eyes, now opening your eyes. So as you look forward toward your screen, keeping your nose pointed toward the screen straight ahead. As you now take your gaze to your right, just your gaze, now keeping your gaze to the right, now let your head gently tip to the right. And we'll pause here for a few breaths. And coming back up, this is one of those neural hacks. Nose straight ahead. Now taking your eyes, just your eyes to the left. Eyes stay to the left, now letting your head tip to the left. And the purpose here is not about the big stretch. It's about the movement, the stimulation of the inner ear, sternocleidomastoid muscles, upper trapezius. Coming back up, gaze back forward. Now coming up on your feet. And facing straight ahead toward your screen, feet pretty close together. And now starting to deepen your breath. Exhale, draw your ribs down to your belly. Inhale into your back. Exhale, draw your ribs down. Inhale into your back. A little deeper breathing. Now, if this approach to breathing, you feel like you're a little bit rounded forward, means you're doing it right. So what we're doing is starting by aligning your torso, and we're going to come up to head and neck in just a little bit. Now, in the interest of freeing, opening the upper chest, We're going to match movement with breath. Inhale, broadening your back. Exhale, arms up. Inhale, arms down. Exhale, arms up. A couple more like that. So if you're used to practicing yoga, this probably is what seems to be the reverse breath. And it's in the interest of freeing your upper chest. Last one. Exhale. Ribs go down at the same time, arms go up. Inhale. Bring your arms down. Good. Now to work with your lower body, step your feet wide apart, turning both feet out a little bit. And with the exhale, bend your ankles, bend your hips, bend your knees. And then inhale, come up. Exhale, bending. Inhale, straightening. So keep that movement going. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. So you can probably see that as I bend my ankles, my shins go forward. As I fold in my hips, my butt goes back. So next time in that triple flexed position, pausing there, so your butt's down low, bring your hands into prayer position. And keeping your butt down low, now we're going to work with healthy feet, healthy arches. To do so, take both your heels up a couple inches. Now keep your right heel lifted like it is right now, and slowly descend your left heel down. 5, 4, slowly descending. 3, 2, 1, touch, lift. Now keep your left heel lifted, slowly descending your right heel down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, touch, lift. And now both heels slowly descending. 5, 4, still breathing. 3, 2, 1, contact. Still your butt down. So practicing lifting up not from your head and neck, but by pressing your feet down. Press your feet down, let that lift your torso up. Still facing your screen, stepping your feet together. I'll turn to the side so you can see. Partial sun salutation begins by filling, broadening your back with the inhale. Like we did before, exhale, arms up. Now let your chin go up too. Then with the inhale, folding forward. Knees can bend as much as you like, and letting your head hang. So bending the knees facilitates releasing your neck. So now with that sense of elongation in your neck, with the next exhale, stretch the crown of your head forward. This movement between your shoulder blades is called extension, thoracic extension. Then with the next inhale, folding, again letting the weight of your head hang. Exhale, coming all the way up, arms up, chin up. Inhale, arms down. Same thing a little bit faster. Exhale, both arms up, chin up too. Inhale, folding. Exhale, crown your head forward. This is called gorilla. Inhale, folding. Exhale all the way up. Inhale, arms down. Now the same thing quietly, all of us together, all over the world. Facing toward your screen. So now we're going to work a little bit with the upper body, and specifically the muscles in the back of your shoulder that help support good posture. So to begin, joining your fingertips. When your fingertips are joined like this, notice that your bicep muscles face straight ahead toward your screen. See if you can maintain that internal rotation of your arms as you slowly straighten your elbows. Increasing your wingspan. Full deep inhale here. Exhale, arms up. Holding here for an inhale. Exhale, arms down. We'll pause for a moment. Now bring the arms up like this. For our friends in Arizona, you look like a saguaro cactus. And now the bicep muscles face up toward the ceiling. So maintaining that external arm rotation as you slowly, slowly straighten your elbows. Increasing your wingspan, left fingertips reach, right fingertips reach. Inhale into your kidneys. Exhale up. Hold here for the in-breath. Exhale down. Pausing here for a bit. And stepping your feet wide apart. Take your left foot, turn it in a little bit. Turn your right foot open. And then movement accompanying the breath. Exhale, bending. Inhale, straightening. So doing that little bit deeper breath. Exhale, stale air out. Inhale to open your back. So a couple more here, so we're still warming up. Ankle, hip, knee. And next time your knee in the bent position, pausing there. Bring your hands then into prayer position. Now to work with the right foot, healthy arch. Lifting your heel up. Slowly over a count of 5, descending that heel down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, contact. Now from your heel, inviting awareness to your pelvic bowl. And then tip your pelvic bowl to the right. Bring elbow to knee. And hand on your hip. So your nose facing toward your screen. So keep your nose straight ahead as you slowly tip your gaze to the floor. Just your gaze. Now let your head follow your gaze, so neck and head turn toward the floor too. Same breathing. Stale air out. Diverting the fresh air into the backs of your lungs. To come up, press your right foot down as you inhale. And turning back toward the front. Second side, right foot turns in, left foot turns open. Pacing the movement to your breath. Exhale. Inhale. So maybe your breath rhythm is the same as mine, but more than likely it's different. So part of this, to be aware of your breath, just slightly deepening it, slightly lengthening it. And then practice matching your movement to that breath. Couple more. Mobilizing hip, knee, and ankle. Next time your knee in the bent position, pausing there. Bring your hands into prayer position. So the muscles that support healthy arches don't lift your toes up. That's a myth. The muscles that support healthy arches help to lift your heel up. But it's only a couple inches. If you lift your heel way up, it's different muscles. Now to help build stronger, healthier arches, slowly descend that left heel down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, contact. From your foot, inviting awareness to your belly, and then tipping your pelvic bowl. Let the rest of your spine come along for the ride. Rather than head directing the movement, let neck and head receive the movement. Elbow to knee, hand on your hip, and for the time being, your nose and your gaze straight ahead toward the screen. Holding here. Now, as best you can, keeping your nose straight ahead as you tip your gaze toward the floor. Right, so that's going to work with a number of the cranial nerves that help control eye movements. Now let your nose follow your gaze. So your neck and head end up rotating toward the floor. So we're working with cranial nerves that control movement of the eyes, cranial nerves related to the vestibular or the inner ear, cranial nerves related to muscles in your neck and shoulders. Exhale. Press your foot down to inhale, come up. Turning back to your screen, still facing your screen, stepping your feet together. Some arm movements. Exhale, arms up. Inhale, arms down. Exhale, arms up. This time holding your arms up. So when I say kidneys, kidneys are located at your lower back ribs, right where your rib cage meets your lower back. So direct your inhale into your kidneys. Exhale, side bend to your right, mainly from your ribs. Inhale up. Exhale, side bend left, mainly from your upper back. Inhale up. Once more each side. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Couple of breaths here. So in a moment, we're going to let go of all the cues, all the techniques, including breathing any special particular way. Exhale, lowering your arms down. And resting your mind. You find that your mind is filled with thoughts. Simply aware that your mind is filled with thoughts. If your mind is quiet, thought-free, simply noticing the absence of thoughts. So having let go of all the techniques, breathing included, now gently restarting our approach to breath. Exhale a little bit fuller to help connect your ribs to your belly. Inhale into your back. Now the reason for this particular breath, it helps align your thoracic cavity with your abdominal cavity. It's the foundations of the alignment that predicts a healthy lower back and a healthy neck. So keeping your ribs connected or knit to your belly. Now raising your head up, in particular lifting from the back of your head, up toward the ceiling. Now for a lot of people doing that, lower ribs tend to push forward. So using the breath, exhale, knit. Inhale, back expands. to help cultivate that ideal torso alignment. So now that your head is appropriately placed, draw them back behind you a little bit. Now the next instruction is commonly overdone. Let them descend just a tiny bit. Provided you kept your ribs knit, this is the true opening of the chest, longitudinally and transversely. Let's practice that. Stepping your feet apart, turning your left foot in and your right foot out. With the next exhale, bending your right knee. Bring your hands into prayer position. So with your knee bent, holding here, we're going to take a couple moments quietly for you to return to the breathing technique. If you haven't already, to practice lifting your head up, almost like you're going to lengthen your sternum bone. Now to help cultivate that quality of broadening across your upper chest, across your collarbones, outstretch your arms. Extending out through your fingertips. Now keeping your nose facing toward your screen. Turning your gaze to your right. Just your gaze for the time being. Couple of moments there. Now let your nose follow your gaze until you're looking to your right, far to the side of the room. Each exhale, recalibrating, knitting your ribs. Each inhale into the upper back where so many people experience stagnation. Probably about now a little bit of fatigue is kicking in. Whatever feelings are arising or present, simply knowing that they are there. Right foot. With the next inhale, press that right foot to come down. Turning back to your screen, still facing your screen, stepping your feet together. Now we've done something on one side, not yet the other side. Maybe both sides of your body feel the same. Maybe they feel different. So I'm going to take a moment here for the open-ended question. What am I experiencing or feeling in my body? Now that could seem like a poor use of time. But what you just did, returning to your body, feeling your body. Embodiment is one of the most powerful tools to calm anxiety. Let's do the second side. Stepping your feet wide apart. Turning your right foot in and your left foot out. Movement follows breath. Exhale, bending. Pausing there. Knee stays bent. Bring your hands into prayer position. When we try to stand up tall, almost always the lower ribs push forward, so the torso ends up misaligned. So using your breathing, exhale, knit your ribs. Divert the inhale into your kidneys. So not only does that technique help you breathe deeper, but aligns your thoracic cavity with abdominal cavity. Now keeping that optimal alignment, lifting your head up, almost like you're going to lengthen your sternum bone. Now to create openness, broadness across your upper chest, across your collarbones, outstretching your arms. Holding here, increasing your wingspan. So with your nose still facing your screen, now let your gaze track to your left, just to your gaze. So that's using very particular muscles innervated by cranial nerves. Now let your nose follow your gaze. So you end up looking over your left hand way off into the distance. some yoga traditions, that's called gaze far to the side, using your breathing to align your torso, increasing your wingspan, outstretching through your fingertips to help open your chest transversely, and then lifting up through the crown of your head, even a little bit more through the back of your head to help open your chest longitudinally. Exhale, stale air out. Inhale, press your left foot down to initiate coming up. Turning back to your screen, still facing your screen, stepping your feet together. Now we're going to add a layer to the sun salutation. I'll turn to the side so that you can see. So I'm going to start with what we did before. Inhale into your back. Exhale, arms up, let your chin float up too. Inhale, folding. Exhale, gorilla. Then with the inhale, stepping your feet back. And once you've stepped your feet back, letting your head hang. We'll take a few breaths here. So this is another neural hack. Probably goes without saying, you're upside down. By being upside down, there's now a rush of blood into your upper chest, your throat, and your head. So once again, in your brainstem, there's going to be an adjustment of your blood pressure and heart rate to accommodate this change in blood pressure, helping to calm the nervous system with the aims and intentions to help calm your mind, even if your head feels like it's red and filled with blood right now. Then right in between your shoulder blades, where so many people are stiff, direct your inhale right into that place and open it up. Then with the exhale, step your feet forward, returning to gorilla pose. Inhale, folding. Exhale all the way up. Inhale, arms down. That same thing again. Exhale, arms up, let your chin float up too. Then with the inhale, folding forward. Take your arms out to the side as you do so. Exhale, gorilla pose. Remember, your knees can be bent. Inhale, stepping your feet back, way back, what we call dog pose. In dog pose, simply letting your head hang. If it feels like this is a lot of weight on your hands and wrists, keep your hands where they are and move your hips back, almost like you're going to stretch out your back and your shoulders. Couple breaths here. Simply being upside down is a lot of the benefit. So into that space in the upper back, direct the in-breath. Exhale, stepping forward to gorilla. Inhale, folding. Exhale all the way up. Inhale, arms down. Good. Still facing toward your screen, stepping your feet wide apart. Bring your hands onto your hips. And taking a moment to feel your feet on the floor. With your feet on the floor, invite awareness to your pelvic crest. Lift your pelvic crest up to the ceiling. How do you know if you're doing that? Well, there's a sense that you're standing taller. And now building upon that, letting your chin float up. So the distance from your pubic bone to your chin is lengthened. Keeping that lengthening as you tip from your hip sockets and fold forward. Then at a certain point, you're going to run into a little bit of resistance. At that point, then rounding your spine. And hands could either come to your shins or the floor. Either way, let your head hang. I'm going to hold here for a bit. Here's another technique where your head is below the heart. Gravity affects your circulatory system. The baroreceptors in your aortic arch and carotid arteries right now are sensing blood pressure is too high. So that sends a signal to your brainstem that's lowering your blood pressure. That's a calming signal to your nervous system. Through your body, we're kind of tricking your brain into a relaxation response. That's a pretty long hold. With the next out breath, stretch the crown of your head forward. This is a lot like we did in gorilla pose. Then bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, broaden your kidneys. Exhale, rolling your spine up, like Pilates is so good at articulating the spine. And then stepping your feet together. Good. Same breathing. Exhale. Inhale into your back. So with your feet pointing straight ahead, bending your ankles, bending in your hips, bending in your knees. Good. Taking your hands straight ahead, straight forward. Couple breaths here. Use your breathing to align your rib cage with your abdominal cavity. Once you can feel that dynamic knitting of your ribs, lower ribs to your belly. Then with the next out breath, slowly raise your hands up. Let your gaze and your nose track with your hands. We'll hold here for no more than 12 to 15 minutes. Medium's different. The bad jokes are the same. Then with the next inhale coming up, holding, still holding. In a moment here, letting go of all the techniques. Exhale, lowering your arms down. And noticing your breath as it is. If it's fast, let it be fast. If it's shallow, let it be shallow. Letting your breath be as it is. Observing it as it is. And this is practice to be with things as they are. Staying present. Staying embodied. We're going to use a sun salutation to move to the floor. But before we do that, restarting the breathing technique. Little deeper, fuller out breath. Deeper inhale into your back. So it might be hard to see through your screen, but using that breathing to align your thoracic cavity with your abdominal cavity, we'll take a few moments here quietly to align your head and your shoulders. Inhale, broadening your lower back ribs. Exhale, arms up. I'm going to turn so you can see better. Inhale, folding. Exhale, gorilla. Inhale, stepping back. Next, exhale, coming forward to straight arm plank. Heels, hips, shoulders aligned. Then bring your neck and head into that same alignment. Now, forthcoming transition, it tends to be head and neck that fall forward. See if you can keep that alignment as you slowly lower down. Now, if you like, you can come to your knees first. And keeping your hands right next to your rib cage, stretching back through your toes. Just like we did in gorilla, movement primarily from your upper back. With your exhale, lifting your head, lifting your chest. A version of cobra pose. And then coming down. So now, same thing, reaching your hands forward. Now, to help decompress your lower back, reach back through your toes. And then to further decompress your back, pulling your hands toward your belly as you lift your head and lift your chest. Pausing here. So this is, in yoga, would be considered the classic cobra pose. So now we come back to work with those cranial nerves. With your nose facing straight ahead toward your hands like it is right now, take your gaze to your right, just your gaze, moving your eyes, but not your head. Now let your head follow your gaze, looking over your right shoulder. We'll hold here for a few more breaths. Coming back toward the middle. So still in that classic cobra, pulling yourself forward, at the same time reaching back through your toes. And now with your nose forward toward your hands, gaze only to your left. Now let your head follow your gaze, so you turn your head and neck to the left. We'll pause here for a few breaths. For sending input to the inner ear, the vestibular sense, cranial nerve 8. Turning the eyes works with a number of the cranial nerves. Turning your head works with cranial nerve 11. Full deep inhale. Exhale, release back toward the middle. And placing a hand on top of hand. And then resting your forehead on your hands. So with your forehead on your hands, we'll take a few of those deep breaths. And the weight of your torso can help facilitate the fullness of the out-breath. And due to the nature of your back ribs facing up toward the ceiling, many people report more of a feeling of openness in the back ribs when they inhale. Few more deeper breaths. Good. Now returning your hands right next to your ribs. No need to squeeze your elbows in really tight. Let your elbows relax. So I like to call this prone mountain pose. Stretching back through your toes. Then floating your hands up. Reaching your arms back. Inhale into your back. Exhale, lifting your head and your chest. Then as you stretch back through your toes, with the next exhale, lift your straight legs up. If they stay straight, knees stay straight, they don't lift up very high. We'll hold here for a few breaths. One of the premier positions for improving posture. Whole back of your body is integrated. Whole front of your body is elongating. Locust position. A few more breaths here. Inhale, coming down. Hands right next to your wrist. Exhale, pushing up onto your hands and knees. And then from your hands and knees, moving into dog pose. Letting your head hang in dog pose. Now from dog pose, stepping or jumping your feet all the way forward and through to end up in seated. Now to work further with some of the cranial nerves, taking your legs into crisscross applesauce. Good. So hands could rest on your knees. If it's more comfortable, your hands could be behind you, either way. So with your nose straight ahead toward your screen, turn your gaze to your right, just your gaze. Now let your head follow, let your shoulders follow. Bring your left arm across, twisting to your right. Same breathing. Inhale into your back ribs. Exhale, releasing forward, back toward your screen. Your nose straight ahead toward your screen. Taking your gaze, just your gaze to your left. Now let your head follow your gaze. Head, neck, shoulders, chest. This time right hand comes across. But not that you're going to pull with your hand. Let it rest. So if you're looking for something to do in this twist, drop your right sitting bone and your left sitting bone. Just like the roots of a tree sinking into the soil. And from that rootedness, invite awareness to your back ribs, the back of your heart, and lift the back of your heart up toward the ceiling. And then just like we worked on last week in Friday's class, and lift the back of your head up. Next exhale, turning just a little bit farther. And exhale, turning back toward the middle. Taking your feet forward in front. Maybe you attended Colette's class where she talked a lot about relaxing the psoas muscle. Another way that you can express that is to think about relaxing your groin muscles. Now with the out breath, reaching your arms up, up, and out of your psoas. And inhale, folding forward. Perfectly okay to round your spine. Bring your hands to your shins. Maybe to your ankles. Maybe to your feet. Just like we worked with in last night's class, especially when your gaze is down between your knees, the whole back of your body is both elongated and broadening. Letting your sacrum, the very base of your spine, naturally broaden. Let the base of your skull, where your skull meets your neck, naturally broaden. One of our themes here this morning has been about the back ribs. So using your in-breath to facilitate that opening. Then an additional theme has been about your kidneys. And right atop your kidneys, that's where your adrenal glands live. When people are stressed out, it's almost like their adrenal glands are tensing toward the spine. Let your adrenal glands relax away from your spine. My scientist friends may take issue with whether that actually happens. Explore what it feels like in your body with the intention. Exploring the possibility of keeping your back open and long as you slowly roll up, segment by segment, piece by piece, coming up. Returning to sitting. So whatever you'd like to sit upon, whether it's the recliner, your sofa, a chair, or the floor. In my experience, the best time to meditate is after exercising, after moving my body. Now, in meditation, it can be eyes open or eyes closed, whichever you prefer. So whether your eyes are open or closed, it's a persistent rumor, if you will, that meditation is about clearing your mind. That's not it at all. Meditation is about being present in the moment. Just like we explored earlier in today's session, if you find that your mind is filled with thoughts, worry, fretting, whatever the thoughts may be, watch the thoughts like you'd watch a movie. Not trying to push them away. Trying to push thoughts away, they tend to come back stronger. Simply aware of whatever thoughts may be there. So in addition to not trying to push thoughts away, not following the thoughts, because following thoughts commonly contributes to anxiety. One thought leads to the next, to the next, to the next. Before you know it, there's a catastrophe. So rather than catastrophizing, take a moment to feel your body, feet on the floor, chair supporting your torso. Simply like a witness or a spectator, watching your mind. The image that's often used is our thoughts are like a river. Most of the time we're in the river getting swept away. Meditation is not about stopping the river. It's simply about getting out of the river, relaxing on the banks of the river. Now calmly watching the river flow by. Oh, here's a thought. There's a thought. Let them be. Neither chasing after nor pushing away. We'll take the next 2 minutes quietly, aware of your thoughts. If you've closed your eyes, now opening your eyes. So at any time, expanding our thoughts from ourselves to also include others, the time-tested way to cultivate well-being. Most of my workouts, whatever form they may take, I start with an aspiration. So I'm not just focused on my own benefit, but thinking about how those benefits can ripple, cascade outward. And then I conclude the workout with a dedication. A dedication I've been leaning on quite a bit of late. May the benefits of working with brain, structure, and heart ripple outward, benefiting beings near and far. That includes all of you. I'm very glad you took the time this morning, or if you're watching the recording, to share this practice together. It's a time where it's very tempting to be in our head. Think, thought, worry, stress. These are really stressful times, not to minimize that. Returning to your body, the steadiness of your body. We have these various neural hacks with the intention of calming your nervous system to help de-stress your mind. Really glad you joined me here. I'm going to take a little bit of time for questions. There's a very significant time lag on the YouTube Live. And so I'm going to get my phone so I can see any questions that you may have. And please go ahead and type them in. And if you're looking for something a little bit more vigorous, next month I'll be rolling out a program that's going to combine more vigorous workouts at the same time with a little bit more of study about why to do this technique and why to do that technique. So it's going to be geared to everybody, from people who are very fit to people who maybe are wanting to get back into shape. It's going to be geared for people who maybe done a lot of yoga and are curious about how to develop cardiovascular fitness, maybe how to develop muscle strength and muscle mass. And I'll be rolling out that program later next month for a May 1st start. I'm seeing a lot of people saying hello. Colette's class. How do I find Colette's class? So that's through through Pilates on Harrison. And so Colette can go ahead and type that in the chat room. It looks like it's already done. And so many people saying hello. Excellent. Great. All right. Doesn't look like any other questions have come in. Thanks for joining me. And I have class scheduled for next Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday on YouTube Live. I hope you can join us. And please, if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Scott Anderson Yoga. Thank you.